Hello, creative enthusiasts. I'm Aaronica Cole from The Needle and the Bell.
And I'm Julian Collins from Julian Creates.
And welcome to another exciting episode of the Audacity podcast. Ready to embark on a journey where audacity meets creativity and crafting? Well, friends, you found your destination right here.
As your guides, we're thrilled to blend the worlds of sewing, crafting, and life's audacious adventures.
In each episode, we're stirring up a cup of inspiration, laughter, and, of course, candid conversations. From the buzzing topics in the sewing community to the projects we're currently immersed in, we've got your creative cravings covered.
And don't forget our special guest interviews, deep dives into weekly themes, and thought-provoking, audacious questions that will spark your creativity.
So whether you're a seasoned sewist or just exploring your crafting curiosity, this podcast is your cozy haven for all things audacious and crafty.
So grab your favorite project, your beverage of choice, and let's take another sip from the cup of audacious living. Hey y'all. Hey. How's everybody doing this week? Welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back to the pod. Why you sound so good sounding that? Say it one more time for us.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Okay, now.
But we decided that we're going to start again with the Am I the Asshole Sewing edition. So, am I the asshole for charging my family, including boyfriend, to do random sewing projects? Already, it's a no. You were not the asshole, but we're going to read it.
Let's go for it.
Some background. I am a master seamstress with a degree in fashion design. And
wait a second. What's a master seamstress? In my head, I thought of master gardener.
No, well, I mean, think about it as somebody who probably has trained under somebody, had an apprenticeship and all that good stuff.
Okay, got it.
Same level as a tailor, like a bespoke tailor. So
got it. Okay.
Seamstress. So I'm a master seamstress with a degree in fashion design and construction. I have been sewing since I was 4 years old and have worked professionally in fashion since I was 16, about 12 years. Okay. I should preface that I don't always charge my family to help with sewing projects, especially if I'm really excited about it. But if my family asks me to do huge projects or mundane work such as upholstery or 20 t-shirts, I usually charge, as you should.
20 t-shirts. Ooh.
I do it to keep people from asking me to sew dumb shit. But I figure if they are willing to pay me, then I'm willing to set my busy schedule aside to do it. My boyfriend just chewed me out because he feels I should do these things for free. He specifically asked me to upholster a vintage chair and said it would be an easy project. I told him if he wasn't willing to pay me, and it's so easy, he should do it then. All in all, am I the asshole for not being willing to do most sewing projects for the family discount of free? Hell no.
There are so many things to touch on here. The first thing that I'm gonna touch on is you can't have a girlfriend and then be expecting husband privileges.
That part. You done signed up for the wrong package.
Exactly. In the girlfriend package, we charge, right? Because you're single until you're married, right?
Ain't that it?
Now, if Denver were to walk in, as he many times has done, and said, hey, Aaronica, can you insert random sewing project for me to do? Minus the curtains, because I just, on principle, refuse. If he's like, hey, can you sew, or can you make, or the kids need, or you know what, I really love it when you make, or can you make me Julian's jacket? Obviously, I'm not going to be like, run me my money, because he pays in other ways. You dig. But you can't just, as a girlfriend, no, absolutely not. Not the asshole. Also, I feel and again, we said this, we reference even sewing for the pandemic, right? I get a family discount. Cool. But here's the thing. And this is something that I learned when I went into business for myself. And this is a lesson that my best friend actually taught me. She was like, I'm always pay full price because I want you to win. And if I, as your best friend, am not the first person to pay you, then it's a problem. Now, granted, we may not always have product, aka or services that our family want to pay for, but that like payment comes in different forms, right? Like we know that you could share something for free, you know, and if this young lady is working in the fashion industry, one, we also know that the fashion industry is kind of getting hit right now. Like we have seen that like young designers who were expected to be in UK's like fashion shows for UK Fashion Week, they did not show up. The reason why they didn't show up is because they couldn't afford to pay their models. The reason why they couldn't afford to pay their models is because they were not selling pieces. They're not selling pieces because the economy is being hit by Brexit and other things. It's not just in the UK, it's worldwide, right? So we can't expect for our bottom line to be impacted and then all of a sudden be doing things for free. When we do things for free, it's because chances are we have enough paid things to make sure our bills paid, extras done, whatever. So if we have the time, energy, aka the things that we would charge for in excess, sure. But she may not, that may not be how she's functioning. That may not be how she's doing her business. And honestly, respect. So it's a no for me.
But also, when you say to someone, this should be an easy project for you, if you understand the expertise, the time, the materials, and everything it takes, why aren't you doing it?
Right. If it's that fucking easy, you do it.
Since you an expert, you know the difficulty level, especially she is in fashion, master seamstress. You're asking for upholstery work. Different.
Very different. That's like asking me to hem your pants.
Yes,
I'm a sewist. I'm not a tailor. I'm not an alteration specialist. Pick somebody else to do it.
Ain't that it? Shoot, as I took a whole bunch. I adulted today. Can we talk about that?
Let us. Because come on, peak adulting. I've been adulting hard this week.
I mean, I done took stuff to the cleaners.
I nailed things on time.
Look. We deserve gold stars for being adults. Where are our badges for that?
You know how people be like, do you want a cookie? I do. Where the fuck is my cookie? I'll take either Chick-fil-A or DoubleTree. And I want
macadamia nut. Something. Give me something.
Yes. And if it's going to be cold, I'll take Tate's. Because standards. You know what I'm saying?
A good crispy cookie. Ooh, no. I need a Pepperidge Farm Bordeaux cookie.
You're so bougie. You are so Cincinnati bougie.
And I accept that. But no, those are my favorite cookies. Have been since I was a kid. They are like a crispy butter wafer. They're delicious. If you can find them in stores.
Ooh, idea. And we can parking lot this and possibly to a later episode or until I actually finish our website and we have the ability to have you guys sign up for this. But you know what I think that we should do for like the holiday season, which we're entering? Like we're officially in the holiday season as soon as Halloween comes, which is next week.
Oh, Jesus.
But I feel like we should sign up to send like, we could do like not Secret Santa and only have it, of course, Christmas themed. But I feel like we could do kind of like how Reddit does their secret elf. And we could put together like little, something like that and send each other gift boxes of things that we love.
I like it. I've been in some of those where it was like a pattern, like especially if you know the person you're sending it to.
Yeah.
You would send a pattern that you think would challenge them, but like,
or even like pattern with matching fabric.
Well,
don't worry, friends, it's coming.
Or and we are budget friendly over here because if you got to buy for other people during the holidays, even if a pattern in a sewing snack,
a pattern and a sewing snack.
Look.
Speaking of sewing snacks, okay, so if you are a bag person or if you're someone who's getting into bags, one of my clients who I coached, her name is Catherine Maldonado. Side note, when I started coaching her and I just saw her name, I definitely expected a white Irish woman to get on the line with me. Not what happened. She's a Black woman. But she created a subscription box for bags where she puts inside the box everything that you need to make the bag. She's got all of your notions, like the clips, everything in there. But my favorite part is that she always sticks in Brooklyn Brittle in different flavors. And hands down, I may not have made not one of these bags, because one of the thing about me is that if you're my client, I'm supporting you monetarily because I believe in you. So I definitely signed up for a 6-month subscription. So expect 6 bags at some point in time in 2024. I'm committing to that next year. This year we're finished. We're done. But the Brooklyn Brittles are my favorite sewing snack. And it is a company that is Black woman owned as well, based in New York. They are hands down my favorite sewing snack.
Let me go look this up, because
I'm trying to say, it's like, I open up those boxes, like I tear into the boxes, like, where is my Brooklyn Brittle? I've had like this lemon raspberry, and I don't even like lemon flavored anything besides like a Jolly Rancher or a martini. But it was so damn good, Julian. It was so tasty. And it's like shortbread, and then it's got these flavors. It was amazing. So, yes. So I think that we should put together, I think it's called Elfster. We can do it on Elfster instead of just waiting for the website, which is almost done, friends. It's almost finished.
They got a pecan chocolate chip. I think that's about to be in my life.
That pecan chocolate chip I've had. Very tasty. Very tasty.
Oh, they even got savory. They got a rosemary parmesan.
Had it. Delicious. I'm like, keep bringing the flavors up. Had it.
Lord. I don't need to be adding no snacks, but we might look. I support Black-owned businesses.
They're so tiny that it's almost like literally the perfect serving size, because it's like 2 bites.
Okay.
Yeah. So good. Highly recommended. Shout out to Sew Your Bag for putting me on to these delicious snacks.
I love it. They are now saved. They are literally sitting in my Safari. So yeah.
You're welcome.
After this, yes. So as we're talking about adulting and life just getting in the way of stuff, can I just say that I need help with an infusion of creativity in my Sewjo. It feels like I have not really like created as heavily as I wanted to. I have ideas in my head, but they just have not made it outside of that since Rock Tips. I've done some sewing, but not like, I got beautiful fabrics right now too. And I just haven't really hit where I need to hit. And I need help. So help me find my Sewjo again.
You know what I'm going to tell you to do? I'm going to tell you to whip out your bag of sewing tokens.
I need to do that.
And I'm going to tell you to, because you actually bought both the pattern hack and the pattern inspiration. So even if you pick from the pattern inspiration and then pick from the pattern hack and hack whatever the inspiration was, now you have a completely new garment. And so if you're wondering, like, Aaronica, what are you talking about these tokens? So for National Sewing Month, I developed a product, and they're these sewing tokens. And inside of them, there are about 18 tokens in each of these bags. There's two different styles, where one of them actually has a bunch of different patterns, pattern types or inspirations. So like, it does include both men typical patterns, as well as women typical patterns. So anything from make a wrap dress to make some outerwear to different pattern hacks to do. And I actually developed the product for reasons like this, because I feel like when you're a creative, right, we expect for the creative energy to consistently be flowing, right? But sometimes it's not. And we have the desire to create, but we do not know what we desire to create. And so that can be hard. So one of the other things that I would suggest you do is empty your closet, right?
It's easy right now.
Like, I think that it's time for you to, like, Julian, both of us have some really big changes that we've been navigating this year. And so I feel like if you refresh your closet, then inspiration might come from that. You know what I'm saying?
That is a good idea. Because, I mean, I know, because I like to shop a little bit. So I did just buy a brand new closet organizer that should be here.
I just bought a brand new closet organizer.
I mean, it was time. So I literally plan to knock out the shelves, knock out the bar, and refit my closet. So with that, this is actually the perfect time. And it's funny because literally, as I talked about adulting and taking stuff to the cleaners, I took like 3 suits. I took coats and stuff like that. None of it fits. It's all too
I was
big.
about to ask, are you going to have someone else do your alterations for you? Or are you just going to give them away? Or are you going to do them yourself?
We're just gonna give them away probably. One I might alter because I like it a lot, but the rest of it, yeah, it can just
Yeah.
go. And
Now,
I'm okay
not
with
to be
it.
triggering, because I know that talking about weight can absolutely be triggering for people. Both Julian and I both are on not just like a weight loss journey, dare I say together, but he's further ahead than I am on the journey. Like he's like looking back, like, come on, girl, like I'm here for you. But we're also trying to just make better decisions for our health, period.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that I hate to talk about this, right? Because I feel like then everybody comes with their advice, or everyone comes with this, oh, it's about time, or congratulating you, right?
And we don't need it.
We
Thank
don't
you.
need that. I mean, like, I will, like, once I start dropping weight, it's fine to be like, hey, girl, you look great. Yes. Thank you. Because definitely when we got on here to record, I was like, you know what? I don't appreciate how your face is looking really poor. Like you looking real po in the neck, right? Like I'm seeing some chisel. And while I'm celebrating you, I'm also like, where is my chisel? You know, I digress because it's not always about me.
But I know it's coming. And you know it's coming too.
It is going to come. It's coming.
You're doing the work. Yeah.
I am. But whenever I feel like bigger body people decide that they would like to lose weight, it's cheered. But when we decide to just love ourselves as we are, it's not cheered as much. And I don't want to say at all, right? Because there's definitely a whole community of body positive or body neutral people who are just like, great, you have a body. Excellent. We love this for you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Right.
So I know I'm always very hesitant to share that I am actively looking to lose weight. I am actively looking to increase my health and wellness. You know, like I can't have a double mastectomy and be like, yes, please amputate my body for my health, but then not do daily things to also be, you know, trying to help my health.
Right.
So like if we are sharing these things, know that it is that we're doing this with intention. Or if you see the difference in like Julian's face or how his clothes are fitting, it is on purpose. Like we are working hard and making changes that are not easy. So that's why I was asking about the alterations in his clothing, because his clothes do not fit anymore because this man is over here taking care of business, doing the damn thing. So you know, that is just a caveat, just a small little heads up to our community.
And if you notice, like if you follow me on any of my platforms, I definitely have been able to fit into things that like especially meat makes. That's what's I'm keeping those and I will work with those. That I had not been able to fit like I want to previously. And I talk about the non-scale stuff because that's really what's important to me. It's the day-to-day living stuff. I don't care about the number as much as I care about not hurting, my knees not hurting as much, or being able to sleep comfortably and not feeling like I was ran over by a car when I wake up. Those type of things are what's important to me. And really focusing on the health aspects of all of this is what is motivating me to keep on going and not the number. So that definitely is an option. And I think one of the things I did do is I committed to a pattern test. I committed to 2, actually.
D-Main, tell me more.
So I'm working with a brand called Sewing with Pride, and they were looking for masculine sewists. So both cisgender men or male, female assigned at birth, men who are looking to try some of the different brands that state that they have unisex patterns, but you normally only see them on feminine figures to see how these work. So these are traditionally more feminine patterns, so like with more shapelier hips, high-rise pants and stuff like that, and even some t-shirts and stuff like that, that I have decided that it would be a good time just to try, because first of all, we know I'm a true believer. Once I have the fabric, once I have the pattern, it's genderless. I can make it whatever I want.
Right.
But we need to see more of that.
We
Especially
do.
as like Terrence of Terrence Williams Designs talked about this past week.
Mhm.
He's making these beautiful dresses for Minerva. People have been mad.
Yeah. And I don't
Like
know
they
why.
pay his bills.
Meanwhile, I saw Terrence, he made 2 of my patterns. And I was like, you know what? Terrence is so disrespectful. How dare he make this damn pattern and outshine me on it?
Look,
I was like, that's fine. That's fine. Because you know, the only thing that I can do, of course, is just make sure that I come back stronger. Right. But another
there you
person
go.
that I'd love to see this do this, and of course I love to see it done as a female is Carmen, because she's gonna take your pattern. She can say it doesn't even matter, because Carmen is going to take that pattern and make it fit her body. And I think that really speaks to the importance of, one, understanding your body, understanding your measurements, but 2, understanding how it relates to pattern pieces, right?
Absolutely.
And how you want that to fit, right? I've always said that pattern pieces and instructions are just suggestions. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with them once you get it in hand, right? Make it work for you.
Right.
And I'm absolutely loving seeing that. And I think that this is going to be really cool, because I feel like as more and more people are either identifying as non-binary, and as more and more people are saying, hey, I might actually be feminine presenting, I don't necessarily want to show my body off, right? Like my friend Carmen, who you met when we were in New York, when she was talking about her, what is it, monastery chic?
Yes.
Dressing like a monk, right?
Right.
Because, and she's very much so, I'm a girl, but I just don't want to be in form-fitting clothing.
Right.
I will say that I've done a couple of pattern tests for pieces of clothing that are meant or have been designed to be unisex. I don't know if I have seen a brand do it really, really well, though. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, of course, I sew for both myself and my husband, and it might fit me well. It's not going to fit him. Just following the pattern, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not because it's poorly drafted, but I don't know if they're necessarily drafted. Keep with some things in mind, right? Because my husband's limbs, super long.
Right.
Super long. Right. His shoulders, way more broad than mine are. So when we're talking about where that shoulder seam is meeting, it's not on the shoulder for him. Right. So I think that I would love to see these pattern pieces come out and be identified as, if you want it to fit slim or athletic, here's where to cut. If you'd like for this to be more oversized or loose, here's where to cut. Same pattern piece, or same. And of course, I'm speaking in terms of like PDF or like projector patterns, right? Where I think it's a lot easier to do that there. Right. But I can't wait to kind of see what this showcases. I'm excited about that.
It's about to be interesting. I was just looking at the pattern piece compared to traditional like masculine men's wear patterns. I'm like, oh, this, especially the pants, their shape, they're at like more of a natural waist. So they are high-rise pants with some elastic in the back. So I'm like, okay, this is about to be interesting. And probably going to need to like slim it down at the hips and stuff like that to make it work better for me. Luckily those are like, so we're putting in all of the alterations we had to do to make it fit us.
I like that
as part of the process. So just to kind of show you, like, this is what some of the things that it might take if you wanted to fit for you.
Yeah.
And including like, because even the pants, I think the inseam was like 26 inches. So I was like, oh. So yes, we will definitely be extending that. Luckily, the pattern, it does have like the markings for the knee line and stuff like that. So I know we know where to extend it. But still, just an interesting process that will be new. And you know, since I just need a new project. I need to do something.
I'm excited about this, Julian.
It should be very interessante. Interessante.
I like that a lot. Speaking of patterns, just very quickly, we will share this right now. And this is a shout out. So, of course, all of my PDF and projector sewists right now. This episode is going to be airing on Friday, October 27th. And right now, simplicity.com is having a sale on our patterns, the Know Me patterns. They're on sale for $4.99. So if you are into PDFs and you've been like, or if you are overseas and you don't have access to a Joann's or otherwise our patterns, definitely head to simplicity.com and go ahead and add to cart. Definitely put mine in there. Definitely put Julian's in there. Okay. Add to cart, check out, and definitely enjoy those patterns. Because it's worth it. Okay, friends. Especially, I'm gonna say, especially my fall pattern.
Oh, yes.
We're giving tea. We're giving titties. Okay. We're giving
and
cleavage.
The way that we have seen that dress
Yes.
flipped and reversed so many different ways. I love it.
I swear there is no greater compliment to a designer than when someone takes your pattern and uses their imagination with it.
I love it. It's
so much.
It's a wonder to my soul, as the
yes
song says. But yeah, so like I am sometimes I have to give myself an assignment. So this is my assignment that I'm doing right now to help with that process. Also, like, the Black Soul Network Soul Longs. I mean, of course, that's something that I do often, and I have one even coming up this Saturday. So I will be doing Know Me, Donnie's fall pattern. That's how I usually call it. Is Know Me 2056. So we are doing the pants of that pattern as well.
That's a nice. I wish I was available. I love the cut of that pattern.
It should be very interesting, and there are some interesting details because I had to ask him about it, because there are like these side vents that he got from those who are like do control burns at like firefighters in the forest and stuff like that, as because he is a microbiologist as in trade. So he took that as those are something that you will put into like a lot of the firefighters wear, because it will allow for venting for so like
I have his pattern right here. Let me look at this.
Look. And the only reason I found out from looking at the pattern itself is that there's these little two spots on the sides.
I see that.
Those are the for the invisible zippers.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. To help in so it really does help in aiding to make sure that you can be cool and stuff like that when you are but still have full coverage as you are out firefighting.
Yeah. I think next week I'm going to be working on making Denver your pants from fall finally, because I have it digitally. So
I love it.
This begs the question, because we all know that, Julian, your style is probably more aligned with a more vintage style, which I feel like it can be harder to draw inspiration for, because it's not like everyone is out here, with their vintage inspired. And I feel like you do it in such a way that it is vintage, but it's infused with modern feels. So what do you actually look for, like, or look to when you're looking at, Donnie's pattern has a lot of pieces. We're looking at 25 pieces.
But that's for the shirt and pants.
But I'm just saying. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm looking at the pattern right now.
So yes, it ain't that bad.
Okay. Okay.
So I definitely look. I mean, Pinterest, of course, is one of my favorite places. With actually, I went to like a half price bookstore, so a used bookstore yesterday, the day before, and got a GQ magazine.
Okay.
That is kind of current, but not too current. It's in this year. 50 Cent, gotta love it.
Yes, we do.
Just for inspiration, just to see what other designers are putting out. Of course, I use Pinterest and stuff for the same reason. Sometimes you just want to also have a tangible picture, and to cut out and to really help get your have your eyes on it, and just really examine it even more than just a digital picture. So I do, of course, do stuff like that as a way for me to delve into some of the different patterns and stuff that are even available on the market, and just see how I might want to incorporate that style into my everyday life. So I do that type of stuff. I also have a lot of vintage books. So I collect vintage patterns. So I don't mind going for those. Sometimes those are I will reach for those first before I reach for a modern pattern.
Hmm.
So when when I shop a lot on eBay, I shop a lot on Etsy. I type in men's vintage sewing patterns
Yeah.
in my size and see what comes up and see what I like. So
Yeah.
a lot of your like Vogue Paris original men's patterns are really nice, and you can gain a lot of inspiration and learn a lot of techniques that you won't find in modern patterns. Um, Stretch and Sew, of course, are some of literally my favorite pattern brand ever.
Really?
Oh God, I love them, and I have so many of them. I think that especially for even though it's from the 70s, 60s, and 70s, most of them, they can be so well translated for our modern day life because it's knit. Everything is
Hmm.
knit. So even I can make a full suit knit
Out of knit. Okay. Okay.
out of knit.
Sold.
Um, so
Completely
and
sold.
they have women's patterns, they have different sizing patterns, and they even had like plus size men's patterns at the time and big and tall men's patterns. And these will be like for pants that are knit. Actually, it's funny. I got a book in the mail because I also order vintage books because I like to have my vintage library. So this is by Judy Lawrence, Sewing Knits Menswear from the 70s.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
just to kind of learn the techniques that they use to go through that process. But I've used like especially like the men's knit pants patterns, like that's kind of the inspiration that I took for my first pattern with Nomi,
Hmm.
Nomi ME 2009. It was really some of that and really some of the stretch and sew patterns because literally they are dress pants in knit
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
fit beautifully.
Your fall, the 2009, I loved those pants so much. But your girl really struggles with cutting out tissue patterns.
But that's why they're now on PDF.
I know. And when I tell you I'm just so grateful. Like
It,
I'm
it,
trying to tell I don't think y'all understand because in fact, I talked about the sale and I talked
mm,
about the sale not as someone who didn't take part in the sale because I definitely did because
mm,
Simplicity was also on sale
mm.
and your girl went and got a bunch of Mimi G patterns um because while I don't actually feel like Simplicity at the core really aligns with my aesthetic.
Mhm.
Mimi's does, and I also feel like Madeline's does. Madeline just dropped this like bustier, and I have a bustier pattern as well. But I want to say it's in knit because the sizing is like extra small to large, extra large to 5X, etc. Size inclusive. And so I'm like, oh, because it has to be for knit. If I was wise, I would have already looked up what the pattern or what the fabric requirements were. But we just be buying pattern. That's fine. Whatever. I'll
I
figure it out
mean,
once I get it.
yes, yes, that
Of
is
course,
my
now I'm
thing.
like, I should probably look it up to
I
see
mean,
what kind of fabric I need for it.
but you know, we be buying patterns and acting. We ain't making it right now. Let's be real.
No,
Because I
no.
mean, it's a separate
Although
hobby.
I am going to this wedding this weekend, and for those that join me whenever I sew live, I made a dress on live today, which I
Mhm.
actually have to go back and upload like a better picture and stuff like that for the cover. But it's for a Catholic wedding. Now, for those that don't know, I actually was raised Roman Catholic, and so most Catholics present as conservative, but they are not.
Yeah.
Normally, Catholics are like the antithesis of conservative, or at least the kids were. But so I'm wearing something that I feel like is more conservative. Keep double like I keep really being like, am I gonna ever wear this again? Because not saying that I'm always trying to show some tits and ass, but your girl is like, I have body, why not? You know what I'm saying? Um, but like you, I consulted Pinterest for fall wedding attire.
Mhm.
And the big thing that came up, of course, was velour
Mhm.
and thigh. Like there was a whole lot of thigh that was out there. And I was like, cool, 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 cool. I love showing thigh. Like y'all are going to get this cellulite whenever I can offer it. So I was like, excellent, we'll do. Excellent. That's what we're doing.
I love it. I love it. And they gonna deal. And they be all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
But
looking
part of
at
me also actually feels like you don't need to have a lot of sewing inspiration right now. Like I'm almost like it's time for you to just relax for like a second because we're about to get into holiday sewing.
You know, I'm not.
We are.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. Why would
Did
you
y'all
say
just hear
that?
how she talked to me like that? Did y'all just hear that?
God. Did you not hear how he talking to me? He's talking to you like that.
Because I'm all it's self is sewing all the rest of 2023. It's all gonna be for me. So I do like,
that's right.
we are literally tomorrow. I'm a month out from my birthday. I'll be 37. Yeah, 37. So I need to make an outfit.
Indeed.
I have some ideas, but nothing pinned down yet. But yeah, outfit. So there's that. I might have some little Christmas parties and stuff to go to. Stuff for that. I want to be developing new classes maybe for next year. So stuff for that. But again, that don't include not a nair gift for nobody.
Why are you teasing us this way? Oh my gosh, Julian.
I mean, I do now know, as we were talking about earlier about having family and stuff pay us. I do owe some people some stuff, so I might. We'll see. We're gonna pray on it. Y'all pray real hard to see if it actually
Pray
happens.
on it.
But yeah. So and actually, I just looked up this. Maybe I didn't look up the bustier because it's actually a dress and a jumpsuit. Is that one?
Yes. It's a dress, a jumpsuit. Now, listen, I really do feel like Madeline's aesthetic really does align with mine, not only because she's always showing some titty and ass, but also because I just think that the fabrics that she used really shows off the lines of the patterns.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, granted, if I make it, I likely will not do something like that, but I like that it gives this illusion of the illusion of sexy, you know what I'm saying? I just
give me options. It gives options. Yeah. I love it.
It really allows your creativity to really just kind of to fly, you know?
But it's not knit. It can be made out of knit. It could be made out of power mesh, but it's not. I just looked it up.
It's already bought.
I mean, but
we have fabric.
It's gonna be fun though. You're gonna have a good time with it. That's all that matters.
Don't expect me to sew this live.
Why not? Since you up here want to get all up in my ass about sewing for holidays.
Ooh, dang, just like that, huh, Julian? Okay.
I'm returning energy.
Oh, okay.
I'm mirroring.
Okay. So
they call it the self-care, mirroring, doing some mirror work.
I can't with you. Suggested fabrics are brocade, cotton types, jacquard, power mesh, taffeta. Also, sequins.
Organza, yeah, all over lace.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, cool. But I'm here for it because you know what? Like I fit in the sizing, but also I'm almost one size in this pattern.
Look.
Which leads for way less grading. I'm here for it.
Yeah, so just on strength alone, you need to do it. You need to make it.
Yeah. And the cups, she has cups with A through J.
Oh, yes.
You know how unfounded that is for a woman's pattern to have all of those cups included?
I love it. I'm
here for it. Excellent job, Madeline. I doubt that you even listened to this podcast, but well done, girl. Well done. I'm going to send it to you.
Actually, but also BSM might need to do that just because that jumpsuit.
The jumpsuit is fire. I'll have to do it alone first and allow myself the space to think.
to do the full figure out. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of times your girl be over here like, okay.
I mean, all you doing is you figuring out the Six Sigma way of putting it together. That's all it is.
And facts on the fly.
And it's better to do it alone than do it on live because then you up here
stuttering, carrying on.
But they like it when we do that. Let's be real.
It's true.
They do.
It is
Yeah.
true.
And just the same way with today. Like sometimes y'all just want to hear us talk, and that's fine too. Because I mean,
It's
we had a
facts.
plan, and we started there,
We did.
but we meandered. So the question I have for y'all today, because we have questions, and and thought provokingness. What do you do when your Sewjo is kind of you want to sew, but you don't know where to start? It's like a failure to launch moment. Where do you start?
To launch.
Give me some ideas. I mean, and what do y'all want to see? Because I mean, we can go. I just bought a new Mueller and Song book, so I could be drafting my own stuff right now.
My vote is be drafting your own stuff. Sorry, my bad. You were asking the listeners. My apologies.
I mean, but also, I mean, I have some Luderlo stuff. I can do that. And somebody did just ask me to do some Luderlo, and I have promised that to some people, so I definitely need to do that. I have some other vintage pattern books that I can pull from to help draft. Like, so I have some from Tailor and Cutter, which was the preeminent magazine for bespoke tailors in Britain and in the US in the 60s and 70s. I have some of their books. Yeah, I got some things that I can choose from. So if there's something particular that you want us to see, please reach out and let me know.
You know what I think is the cool thing is that like vintage is coming back.
Absolutely.
Right. Because like even looking at Madeline's like jumpsuit and dress and stuff like that, I even feel like that is very vintage inspired.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm loving it. I'm here for all of this.
But also, like, I think that with vintage, I think that it's more conscious of everyday bodies.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a way that it makes me confident in the way that it fits a lot better. Especially just kind of like it has ease, but it doesn't have too much ease. And it just has a tailored, sophisticated look to me. That is kind of, I don't have to put too much thought into looking good. So like I don't have to do too much to make it look good on me. And it's why I've chosen, it just is a classic look. That I think even if it is not of this time frame, it's always in style. And it always just looks good, especially menswear. Because I realized that as much as I want to be a streetwear fashion person, that's not my ministry. I can't do it. I
definitely feel like the streetwear fashion style is probably more aligned with me and like how I dress.
I've tried so hard. And I just look like I'm wearing my daddy's clothes. I feel so uncomfortable. But I also feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable. It's just so foreign to me.
It's funny because like I feel like I'm in my high school art teacher like style. Like I'm like, first of all, please give me all of the patterned clothing, right?
Yes.
Because I'm gonna mix them. I don't need a color to like we don't have to have yellow in both for me to wear it. I'm gonna just put it on. Yes. Because that's what makes me feel good. And I feel like that aesthetic is it's giving like high school art teacher. You know what I mean?
Now, see, I bring in that because me and color, now that
you in color. Yes,
I'm going to do that, but it's usually going to be in more of a classic silhouette.
I definitely was looking at your post the other day when you had maybe it was today where you had on your sushi shirt, and I was like, I just don't understand why he won't send that to me.
Why do you want me to send you my whole little, like, you just want my closet? Just say that. Just say it.
There's like a couple of key pieces, definitely. I mean, you can't even fit this green jacket anymore. Like, gosh.
You and this jack.
I don't even know why you didn't know that I was going. That's where I was leading this conversation.
I should have known. I should have known. Yeah. I mean, but Christmas is coming. Remember, you said so. You never know. Coming. You never know.
It is coming because truly Denver wants it. Because I definitely showed him the pictures, and I showed him the pictures of the one that you did for your sew along. He was like, "Ooh," I was like, "I know. He should just send these to us." What do you do?
Not his size.
Like wear a bunch of sweaters?
I'm not his size, so he could. I mean, you would have to alter it to make it work for him, but
I mean, like it doesn't have to be perfect.
You know what? He put it on. Are you here? He's just gonna Hulk out. I mean, he's like, at least I think he's a size of bigger than me. So technically, he could work because it's oversized. But we'll pray on it. We'll pray.
We'll pray on it.
Yes.
I'll definitely be saying a prayer about it.
I know. You're gonna be praying, lighting the candle. You're gonna do a lot of things. I know. It's all right.
I am.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. Also, you know, I definitely have been buying some pretty fabrics and some new notions. So I posted about my WAWAC order this week. So and one thing I don't talk about a lot, because y'all know, again, I like to shop. That is part of my thing. I don't really drink. I don't do nothing else. I shop. So y'all gonna let me have it. I like also, so y'all know I own a lot of sewing machines. I also own a lot of irons. So I have 4 gravity feed irons, some vintage. I know. Don't leave me alone. I have my regular Laura Star Smart Eye, which is the full ironing system. I also have a Laura Star Lift, 1984 edition, which is the generator edition. I have a Rowenta generator, so that is the Steam Pro, Perfect Steam Pro. But then they just came out with a Rowenta Ultimate Steam Pro, which is a little different. That comes on Monday.
Wow. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, your girl still doesn't like the iron.
Look, but see, so one of the things I realized is that, so I love, it has to be a certain type of iron. So a gravity feed, like you're not going to catch me with a regular, everyday iron, usually. I know, again, hi, my name is Julian, and I'm bougie.
And I'm Cincinnati bougie.
And I'm bougie.
I didn't mean to mock you.
I'm bougie, and I'm okay with it. Welcome. I need an iron that's going to get hot. So I need an iron that gets professional hot, which is different than what you can find in domestic irons. I also like one that has a lot of steam when possible, because it can help with a lot of like really flatten out things. But I also like ones that do not turn off. I do not put no auto off on me.
See, my ass needs auto off. I will come home to a house burnt down and be like, oh,
Now,
my bad guy.
That's also why I have iron like holders, just in case. But yeah, I prefer if an iron does not, like, because I have like a turn off ritual in my space. I turn off my iron as I turn off my lights. That's how I do it.
Okay.
But I like it, so like I want that iron to start. When I turn on them lights and get in my space, my iron needs to come on so it can be ready to go. And, you know, especially if I'm making I spend as much time as the iron as I do the machine sometimes.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
Jesus.
my iron is not even like near an outlet. My iron will not be used for like
Holy Ghost. Help me, Holy Ghost.
I don't even use my iron every day. I might use that shit weekly.
And a hush fell over Jerusalem.
I wish I could see Julian's face right now, because it's filled with awe and judgment. Like, I feel like
I can't even fix
our relationship.
It is. No, I'm not.
The way that you look is probably how I looked when I tasted the pumpkin spice hot chocolate that my husband bought and tried to tell me it tasted delicious. And I was like, I don't know how much longer we could be married if you find this acceptable. Like, and this year, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get on the pumpkin spice train. I literally, as soon as fall hit and, you know, Sprouts and Trader Joe's had all the pumpkin spice, everything out in the store, your girl bought it all up. I was like, yay, pumpkin spice, fall is here. And I tasted it and I was like, this shit is nasty. I kept trying to feed it to my kids and they were like, Mommy, we don't actually like this.
And this is Jesus. I mean, look, and if I get pumpkin stuff, it's from Dunkin' usually. Because I look,
Dunkin' is only good in the north.
Well, I mean, I'm Midwest, northern Midwest, so okay. But the nutty pumpkin is what it is. I don't even need a pumpkin spice, like regular pumpkin nutty spice. Pumpkin. So yeah, it is like, so it's pumpkin flavor. I know it, don't it?
Like, are we still talking about coffee?
We are. Praise
Okay.
the Lord.
Cool. I
That's what I'm
love it. I
saying.
love this for us.
But it's pumpkin and hazelnut.
Okay.
So it is
Okay.
really good. And just
Someone
even just
told
regular
me
coffee.
last year I tried the pumpkin with a pump of white chocolate. Or actually, no, I had the white chocolate mocha with, in exchange for like all of the pumps of white chocolate, there were like 4 pumps or 3 pumps with the pumpkin spice. And I was like, okay, because I felt like the white chocolate took some of the edge off of that pumpkin spice.
Okay. I can see that. And
But also
because
I feel like my ancestors called down to me and they're like, we like sweet potato, not pumpkin.
I mean, there's that. There's
So
that. But there's also that new, what is that new TikTok drink? It is like the pumpkin chai with
Kalima gets that all the time. She got that shit today because it was half off at Starbucks today. We had the rudest barista who was also the shift manager. And I know she was the shift manager because I was in Starbucks yesterday, judged someone else. And I was in there with my favorite barista. And we were over here at keying it up, holding up the line. I don't care. Sorry, because I'm always going to be a star customer and I'm always going to give the person who is in customer service, I'm going to give them the best customer service that they've ever received in their life. When I walk away, they're going to be like, that is the best customer I've ever had in my life. A+ for me. But we were in there keying with her yesterday. And I came back and I was all excited to see the shift manager. And I was like, hey, girl, how are you? And she was like, what did you want? I was like, okay, cool. Oh. Received. Message has been received.
And I will reflect. I will mirror. We will play
Mirrored.
a game.
When I tell you my face dropped, Kalima was like, what's the matter, Mommy? I said, I'm matching energy now.
And people don't be ready.
I'm nothing but a mirror.
And people don't be ready. And people don't understand. I don't just mirror. I fully reflect with a bit of animation. With a bit of animation. So if you bitch me, I'm going to always out bitch you.
Oh, please believe that my doctor's office felt that when I walked about and they tried to be passive aggressive with me. Like, oh, please make sure that you check in online before you come in. And I was like, I did. It was your system that was malfunctioning. And she was like, well, I did.
So why do I...
Also, please make sure that you take me back and see me on time since we over here offering correction.
And no shade. This is no shade to the entrepreneurs that do hair, but that really gives some of them real just ethnic creatives who will up here charge you like you 5 minutes late and you ain't gonna get your deposit back. Meanwhile, the doors ain't even open to the salon because they running 35 minutes behind. I'm just saying. Like the energy that gave when you told me about it, I was ready.
I was so mad. But honestly, I feel like I'm in a cranky season. That's just where I am right now. And I'm navigating it. I'm pushing through. It's fine.
But not only pushing through, you are doing it with style and grace. Because I mean, you've been wearing your crop tops and your crop button ups that people have been hating on, and I don't know why. Because it looks good. You're gonna be with the thigh out and everything.
Because you're gonna get the thigh at all times, right? But the crazy thing to me is that people were like, not even people, it was like men on Facebook were like, this is a no. And I mean that style wise. Well, you know what's so funny is that I'm the fashion designer. As Julian said, what did you say in episode 1? I am the trendsetter. So
in my hands.
But also after I posted that video, Lynn from oh man, I just lost her handle. But Lynn, who does adaptive sewing.
Yes.
Sewn adaptive. She posted, like, I think it was like an Alexander McQueen crop button down selling for $3,000. Oh, bitch, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Look.
Try Jesus, don't try me.
Look. And it's if y'all don't follow her, it's so there is LYS underscore LWS underscore Lynn Wardrobe Sews is who you follow. She also has LWS trims, which are amazing. She lives in the LA area, so gets all.
And she does not take any of that profit into her pocket. She applies that to make sure that she's able to, her and Alex the tailor are able to provide their skill set to the disabled community who need those adjustments made to their clothing. So shout out to Lynn and Alex from Sewn Adaptive. Okay. So I know that you said you've been struggling with, of course, inspiration, but what are we working on? What is on Julian's table?
So I literally just finished taping up the pattern for that test.
Okay.
And if nothing else, it told me that I need to make sure that I get my projector calibrated ASAP. That was the worst pattern I have ever taped together in my life. I felt like Lisa from Black Woman Stitch, who has a disease that she can't tape together PDF patterns. I looked at this because there was no diagram for me to tape it together. And I'm like, okay, so normally it's like all the A's go together, all the B's go together. No. No. So
get somebody else to do it.
Thank God I'm good at puzzles to figure out what piece went to where. So yes, so that is that. And then also, if you look behind me, if you have followed me online for any length of time in the past few months, there has always been a quote behind me on my white sheet. That is a quote for my great nephew, who is now here, has been born, 8 pounds 9 ounces. And I have finally started putting the binding on it. So
I see it.
I need to just sew it on the back and get that all together.
Y'all, this quilt is fantastic. Oh my goodness. Julian, what can't you do?
Walk on water, because I ain't Jesus. I mean, you know. But look, but we all can do it. If I can make a stitch, I can make a stitch. It don't matter where I put the stitch at. That's how I see it. A stitch is a stitch. So the same way how I'm about to do these are normally feminine figured pants. I'm about to make it work for me because a stitch.
You're about to rock it and make it seem like everybody need to make them.
I'm really excited about them. I think that it's going to give a different silhouette and stuff like that. And it has some features that I want to try.
I'm excited about that for you.
Thank you. So what is on your table? What you making? What you doing?
I just drafted a new pattern for my son. Accidentally.
Love it.
Because and this is really dope. So what's on my table? I just finished making my kids their outfits to wear for UN Day. And I think that this is really cool because I grew up in New York, right? And in New York, at the time that I grew up, unless you were just like your basic American, like you were made fun of, right? Like, so if you were like Jamaican, they made fun of you. If you were from any country in Africa, you were being made fun of, especially if you had an accent, right? If you were anything besides, again, just like your basic American, they did not celebrate that. And as someone who has grown up just being your melting pot, right? Like I've had Ancestry DNA time. Literally, I have the most that I have in any kind of ethnic background. I've got, like, let me pull up Ancestry DNA right now so that I can give this to you all, right? Here we go. So your girl is like, and it's under 20%. And I say that to say, because I feel like this is really important. So I'm 18% Nigerian, 18% Cameroon, Congo, and Western Bantu people, right? Those are my highest percentages in anything. When you grow up, and I felt like I grew up without culture, without any kind of specific cultural ties, right? Like, what is cultural food for me? You know what I mean? I guess Southern food is, but even that is not only a Black thing, that is definitely a Southern thing, right? So I always really admired culture. Like I admired people who had cultural food and things that they could go back on. And I remember Jamaicans just being made fun of. And I was like, why? Like they have beef patties, but like they got great food. And rice, I was like, please? Y'all are over here talking about how they go home and drink
Aki and sawfish? Child, y'all, look.
Listen.
I love
it. They'd be like, their eyes are always red because they're always high. As an adult, that shit sounds ideal. I'm just trying to figure this out, right? So obviously, I married a Jamaican and I love that so much for us. But I love how their school gives them so many different opportunities to talk about their cultural pride, right? So where their families are from, and they do it in such a way where they're encouraged to learn about other people's cultures. Like, I never went to school with somebody who wore a hijab, right? But Aurora, her classmates are wearing hijabs and she understands the cultural implication of wearing them, right? And I love that they are having this opportunity. So they have UN Day, they're wearing their Jamaican outfits. And so for my son, I took a flag, a Jamaican flag, and I turned it into a button down like pullover. And then for my daughter, I turned her flag into a dress. So that's been up on my table, obviously. And then I've got a wedding to go to this weekend. So I had to obviously make something. I think my husband is wearing navy blue. So I made a navy blue dress, so we could be a little matchy, a little coordinated look. But beginning next week, hopefully I will be working on Kalima's fall winter wardrobe because the temperatures have finally dropped here.
And the funny thing is this week, the temperatures have come up here again. They've been like almost in the 80s again.
Yeah, today we had a high of like 75. So ours are.
My allergies is ready to cuss me out. That's all I know.
Right. I'm sure.
So, yeah.
But then I also have my newest pattern is dropping next week, I believe. I still have no idea. Like people are messaging me like, hey, when is the release? I don't even know. Okay. Like, your girl really made it through this pattern test. Not because of the pattern or the testing, but more or less because personal life has just been like personal lifing. You know what I'm saying?
Life, yeah.
Yeah.
But
well, friends, that is it for us today. Don't forget to reach out and answer the question that Julian posed, which is, what do you go to or what do you do when you need inspiration for your makes? We are interested to see what it is that you have to share, so that way it can help and inspire someone else. And that is it for us today.
So everyone, I want to make sure that y'all keep on creating, even if you're in a slump, find something to create on. Even if it's just a little bit, even if you just need to make sure that you have some coloring book and some crayons, make sure that you are just putting color into the world wherever you go.
Oh, I like that, Julian. Put color into the world. Ah, you're so amazing.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful week. And until next time.
Until next time. Sorry.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Audacity podcast.
We hope you enjoyed this audacious journey with us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode.
And don't forget to join our creative community on Instagram at the Audacity and keep this conversation going.
If you got burning questions, audacious stories, or hot topics you want us to dive into, reach out to us on social media or at hello@theaudacity.com.
Thanks for stitching with us today. Until next time, keep those audacious dreams alive and your stitches even tighter.
Take care and stay creative.